Hello everybody, welcome to the Botafogo Way. This channel is dedicated to every Botafogo fan and enthusiast all over the planet. If you were also chosen by the Lone Star, please subscribe and set that like button on fire. The glorious revolution is about to begin. This is the Botafogo Way. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Botafogo Way. This is the third episode of the series History of Botafogo. That is telling everything about how the most traditional football club in Brazil came into existence. If that's of interest to you, please subscribe and set that like button on fire. So let's move on to our video. On the 11th of June 1942, Botafogo Football Club and Clube de Regatas Botafogo were playing against each other for the Rio State Basketball Championship. The player Armando Albano, one of the main players of Botafogo Football Club and the national team, had left his job a bit too late and arrived at the basketball court when the game was already sort of in the end of the first half. While he was still warming up, Armando bent down to catch a ball and suddenly fell unconscious to the ground. He had just suffered a heart attack. In a quick response, people took him off the court into the dressing room and tried everything they could to revive him. Although, a few minutes later, the inevitable news of his death would come and shock everyone present that day. The match was then interrupted when the score was still 23 to Botafogo Football Club and 21 to Clube de Regatas Botafogo. The decision to stop the game was made by the president of Clube de Regatas Botafogo, Augusto Schmidt. He said that his players wouldn't play anymore, so that Albano could be honored with a victory for him and for Botafogo Football Club in his last game. After that, the president of Botafogo Football Club, Eduardo Trindade, said that in the matches between our clubs, there could only be one winner, and that's Botafogo. A huge commotion would take over all the people involved in both sides. Schmidt then replied saying, "What else needs to happen so that our two clubs become one?" And by the way, the winner of that championship ended up being Botafogo Football Club. So Albano would not only win his last game, he would also be champion of his last competition. Right after that marking episode, the two clubs fused as one. With the fusion, a few modifications were made to the crest. The Botafogo Football Club's crest was used, but the letters were removed and replaced by the Lone Star of Clube de Regatas Botafogo, symbolizing the union. Now, as Botafogo Futebol e Regatas, the first title would come 6 years later, after winning the Rio State Championship against Vasco. And some legendary characters would already start to appear in the club in that period, such as the president of the new club, Carlitos Rocha, and his dog and lucky charm, Biriba, and Heleno de Freitas, one of the most marking and controversial characters to ever appear in Botafogo and in Brazil, which we will soon have a video just about him. Now, united by respect, tradition, and brotherhood, Botafogo would get into one of the most memorable periods of its history, and the world would slowly be introduced to the Lone Star, for never to forget its shine. But that story is for another video.